Place your focus on your heart and your heart energy and start expanding this to 6 feet in all directions. You can do this with your intention, with your in and out breath. And start to breathe this sphere of heart energy that's 6 feet in all directions from your heart. Breathe it down to the heart of Mother Earth through the lower chakras, forming the first part of your energetic pillar, and then breathe it up through the higher chakras to Source. And gently reside in your energy pillar. Breathe up and down your pillar and feel more and more connected to yourself. Fall deeper into that relaxed knowingness and beingness of who you are. As we call in the support teams, we ask for the angels, the archangels, the ascended masters, and the karmic board to merge deeply and fully with us now through all dimensions of our fields. We ask for our God presences, our guides, our Ascension Councils to work in harmonious group consciousness together, so the highest of the highest of the highest will be shown you today for all of us in our here and now. Ask for a temple of Mother Gaia grounding to anchor and activate through all dimensions of our fields. We ask for a temple of God Presence communion to anchor and activate through all dimensions of our fields. Finally, calling on a temple of divine union to anchor and activate through all dimensions of our fields. Feel how all these energies, these energy fields, these frequencies merge into one supportive energy through and around you. Feel how your field is raised in frequency, how your energetic bodies are opened up, and how you can relax and fall more deeply into this. Immediately hand over any pending thoughts, any circular thoughts that are in your field, hand them over to your support teams now. Any emotions that are in your way, just hand them over now. You can always come back to them later, or they can be transformed for you, whichever is in the highest. Place your attention now in the God Presence Communion Temple, and notice yourself taking a seat in the circle. And focusing on the crystal fire at the core of the circle. Connect your 12 primary chakras to this fire now by sending out your energy through all of the chakras, through the front of your body, energy bodies, to this fire, and then gently waiting to receive back from the fire through your chakras and start connecting in this way. As we're greeted here today by Ascended Master Djwhal Khul. And he is very excited and happy to be sharing with you today. And he knows that all of you here are meant to be hearing the message he has to share. He says, through the law of synchronicity, law of attraction, you've lined yourself up to be here, to hear this particular message, right here, right now, in your life, in your earth reality. Your higher self has guided you here, has brought you here, by whatever means possible. And here you are, he explains. So settle into that knowing first of all, before we get started in the sharing, he explains. Just take a moment to think about and to feel and to receive the knowing of why certain things occur in your life. There is no coincidence. Everything is guided by your higher self, according to your plan, your mission, your beliefs, your emotions, the experiences you wish to have, what you wish to achieve, how you wish to be, whom you wish to meet, what projects you wish to do or be involved in, or what things you would like to grow through in your life. Today's lesson or teachings or insights, he explains, are about full spectrum humanity and becoming a full spectrum human being. One of the greatest misconceptions and fears and areas that people find very hard to discuss or acknowledge in earth existence is darkness versus light. We're all aware of it, he explains, but few have actually deeply gone to the place where they can become a full spectrum human being. Often there is a mental understanding that dark exists. Often we recognize the dark outside of us in many different ways. And there's even recognition of our shadow side, the parts in us that need healing or transformation. Often we embrace those from a light and love perspective and bring them into a place of healing so they are, quote unquote, no longer there. Today's information and insights are to bring a new perspective to dark and light. And a good place to start, Djwhal Khul explains, is what you can see with your physical eyes on earth. What part of the light spectrum can you see? If you cannot see it, does that mean it does not exist? Good examples are the frequency from infrared all the way through to ultraviolet. Neither infrared nor ultraviolet are frequencies that can be seen easily by the human eye. Does this mean they do not exist? It does not. Each one of you, in truth, is a full spectrum human being, ranging from dark to light. You have the full spectrum within your energetic field. There's often a great fear of acknowledging that we have dark inside of us. And the fear comes from wanting to avoid the darkness that resides often in humanity, and having worked so hard to transcend the pain and all the negativity involved with darkness. And so we tend to face only to the light and love side of the spectrum and turn our back to the dark. This does not mean it goes away. In fact, it is often charged with great fear and worry. And we push all of this down into a subconscious place. And even if we do our shadow work and do our healing, we feel we are getting rid of the dark part of the spectrum within us. And yes, we are healing and raising the frequency of our shadow aspects, but what we're mainly getting rid of is the pain associated with the experiences in the dark part of the spectrum. So we have experiences in the dark part of the spectrum and in the light part of the spectrum. The dark ones often involve having pain or non-flow or worry or fear, and it is that which we can heal. The effects of residing in the dark frequency, that is which we can heal. However, the fact that an experience or experiences were had across all time, space, and dimensions in the dark part of the spectrum is inevitable and is still the case. So the insights Djwhal Khul says he is here to offer today is the embracing and the acknowledgement of the fact that you are a full spectrum human being, whether you like it or not. You are all of it. The universe is all of it. Dark spectrum frequency has a place, as does light spectrum frequency. What it's all about is, where do you choose to reside on this scale? Where do you choose to exist? Where do you choose to live and love from? And for a lot of light workers, that choice is very clearly in the light and love spectrum at higher frequencies. So that's where you choose to make your choices from and choose to live. But it does not mean that you are not the full spectrum. If you have not come to a place yet of acceptance of the fact that you are all of it, just like the universe is all of it, then you not only are placing negative energies on, withholding yourself back from acknowledging that you are that dark energy, you're in fact placing a lot more energy within that than you would actually want. Another analogy is the main four tastes, and taste sensations being sweet and salty and sour and bitter. Those are actually areas of the tongue. And different areas of the tongue are activated with different tastes. Now think about the general attraction to food. It's often sweet foods or savory/salty foods that form the largest part of the attraction in the diet. However, imagine there being no bitter or sour tastes, no lemon to refresh the meal, no bitterness to cut through too much sweet. You do not often reside in eating a lot of sour or a lot of bitter, perhaps, but they are part of the full spectrum of taste. So it's all there within you, but you choose mostly, or most of what you choose is with sweet and salty. Another analogy is nature. And imagine a huge tree, a 100-foot tree with a huge diameter. It resides to the visual eye in the light, in the sunlight, in the air around it. But you also understand that it has a huge part of its stability underground, in 100% darkness. This is where it gets a lot of its nutrients from as well, next to the water and the sun above ground. And the analogy is meant to strike a chord in the fact that each human, including yourself, has all of the energies in you. Whether you accept it or not, you have the full spectrum, dark to light, within you. Healing shadow aspect means healing what residing in the dark frequency has caused in your energetic field. The disbalance can be healed. However, it does not take away that you have resided in the dark frequencies, that they are part of your energetic field. So, the journey for today is going to be about letting go of any layers that have kept you locked up in the disillusion that all you are is love and light. And if you acknowledge any form of darkness in your energy field, you are at risk, and you are dealing with dark forces. You are dealing with things that are going to make your life go wrong, that you are afraid of. And some of you, if not all of you, will be fearing these energies and feel this niggly feeling in your body when you think of the dark and the dark forces and dark energies and dark emotions. An example is if you are a parent or a partner or have a pet or someone or something else that you love. Imagine another with ill intentions threatening to harm the one you love or steal the thing you so cherish. You can already feel those angry emotions or the fight instinct come up inside of you. Now, that does not mean that you act upon that, because this would be creating karma. However, it does also not mean that it's not coming up. You can still feel that anger coming up or that fight instinct, don't you dare. And that comes from the lower frequency spectrum, the dark spectrum of emotions. So you know you have it in you. You may have felt hate at different times for different things in your life, maybe even towards yourself. You have the full spectrum of emotions, just like inside of your energy bodies multidimensionally, you carry the full spectrum from dark to light. To not acknowledge and accept this means not acknowledging the fullness of who you are as an energetic being. This would be like not accepting that the universe in itself holds dark and light. You must remember that it's not about if it exists within you, it's about where you choose to place your creation energy. So even if you come to a place where you acknowledge you are a full spectrum human being, you accept that you are dark and light, then from that place, being neutral, you can choose to place your creation and beingness and doingness energy on the light and love side. And then you can heal all the wounds you have inside of you, but still acknowledge that you're still a full spectrum human being. By healing your shadow energies, it does not mean that you're only a light and love being. And you can now feel how your higher self and your teams are starting to communicate this through to you, that this is your truth, deeply on all levels. Feel this now, as your higher self communicates clearly with you now, that you no longer need to be afraid of yourself, of your own darkness, that your only goal is to heal the wounding you have around choices you have made from darkness, or times where you resided in the dark energies. In fact, it makes you more of a full spectrum, full human, by acknowledging that. If you have never felt hate, you cannot appreciate love to the same level. If you have never tasted sour, you cannot appreciate sweet to the same level. Whether your preference is sweet or sour, this does not matter. Perhaps some of you just simply love sour, and that is perfect. And if there's times in your life where you find yourself residing more in the dark than in the light, that is fine as well. Ultimately, all actions you take from whatever side of the spectrum carry karma, whether it's good, high, light frequency karma, or karma that you will need to work off later based on those choices. If you choose to retaliate based on something someone has done to you, perhaps you are creating karma which is not of good nature. This means later you will have to correct this. But it is your choice of free will. And so more and more light workers and people loving and feeling that energy of light and wanting to help others in service to others are choosing to not create from the lower frequency spectrum of the dark. But it does not mean, again, that that dark is not simply a part of you. And you need to just accept that, because if you ever need to go to those emotions simply to feel them, to resonate with another, or to resolve a situation, you can. If all that you were was love and light, you could never even acknowledge or be in those dark energies. If you need to come from there to actually heal parts of your multidimensional field. So, with that being said, please understand your Ascension Council, for most of you, 12 beings now stand around you and are starting to lift layers from your energetic field which hold your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual body, tied to the illusion that you are not a full spectrum energetic being. Simply relax and hand all of these layers over now as they are being transformed. If there's any fears coming up around the dark or residing in the dark energies, or acknowledging even the existence of the dark spectrum, hand them over now. You are safe, and it is your higher self and God presence that has brought you here, so that you can come to reside in a position of higher truth. It is like climbing up higher on the mountain and having a broader view of how things truly are. So feel how your Ascension Council is focusing on your energy bodies now, multidimensionally across all time, space, and dimensions. And we'll be working with parts of your field that carry wounding. We'll be lifting beliefs, negative thought patterns out of you. We'll be clearing emotions from you. We'll be releasing from your physical body areas that have suffered greatly from this intense struggle of dark and light within you. You hiding from the dark, not acknowledging the dark, being afraid of the dark in your life and in others. So hand it all over and surrender. You are safe. And remember, you, with your free will, can choose to place your creation energy in any part of the spectrum. Acknowledging and accepting the dark does not mean this is where you create from. So you are always safe. And you are becoming more whole. Breathe up and down your pillar as the team, the Ascension Council, focuses strongly on you now. Keep handing over any fears, any worries, any doubts. Any thoughts around never being able to go back to the safety of love and light. This too is an illusion that only love and light will create safety for you. For it is knowing the full terrain, including the deep gullies on your path, and the mountains, and the relaxed fields, and the flows, and the wild rivers, and the deep oceans of darkness. Seeing all of that only makes that you are more prepared for the full journey. And from there you can make any choice you wish. It is like having the blinders on to the dark and always being afraid of it in your subconscious. This leads to blockages in your energy field because you are not acknowledging a part of the universe. You are not acknowledging and accepting a part of who you are, a part of who your partner is, a part of who your children are, a part of who your friends are, a part of who your soul family is, a part of who humanity is. It is like not acknowledging that sour and bitter exist, or being oblivious to the fact that trees have roots deep in the darkness of earth, where there is no light. Yet that seems silly. But when it comes to your own dark, it is okay to hide from it, push it away, not accept it, except doing some shadow work to feel a bit better about it. You will now come to a free place where you can accept all of you. Again, with the understanding that your free will guide you to create from the same beautiful frequency of love and light, except even be more free now and no longer have energy drainages towards the fear of the dark, the resistance and repellent of the dark, the hate and the anger towards the dark in life and in the universe. You can simply acknowledge, oh yes, that part of the frequency is there. I choose this part of the frequency. I choose love. I choose light. And for those of you that still feel you need to or wish to create more from a darker part of the spectrum, this is your free will. And perhaps this is a phase you need to go through. This is something only your higher self and your heart and your intuition will know. But understand that creating from the lower dark part of the spectrum carries with it the creation of negative karma that you will also need to resolve. However, your journey is only known by your higher self, so trust your guidance. Do not be afraid of this. Simply understand that you have the choice all the way. In every moment you have the choice with whom you wish to spend your time, on what project you wish to spend your time, what you care to eat, what you care to think of, how you wish to feel. These are all your choices, and your higher self will guide you on journeys and experiences to go through all sorts and to learn and to become more of who you are. Ultimately, remember that your role of being here on earth is all about becoming more of who you are and being in service to humanity and yourself and your family and living a full and happy life in whatever way you choose. And this means becoming more of who you are. Well, this is a big step for you today. Becoming more of your full spectrum self. Keep breathing up and down your pillar now, as the teams work very diligently to transform your energy bodies, to either ready you for the journey of exploration into being more of a full spectrum human, or immediately reset you to the knowingness that you are a full spectrum human being, and actually by knowing it and living it, it makes you more of who you truly are rather than less. And then the next time you feel a lower level emotion comes up, you can simply acknowledge that yes, this too is part of you. And because you still have anger and hate and guilt and shame come up in your field, this does not mean you are less of a person. What defines how and what energy frequency you leave behind is your actions. And again, each of you will have a very individual path here. Most of you, in service to others, will find a very natural tendency to reside in higher frequency, in love and light, in community, in group, in raising your frequency. But then by understanding now that you are all of this, it may make you actually feel more whole, just like a male in a male body has just as much female energy as male energy, and the same goes for a female. And by not acknowledging that as a male you have female energy, feminine energy in your energy bodies, it is like cutting off half of who you are. And this goes for the dark and the light as well. You are masculine and feminine in your expression. You are dark and light in your expression. How and where your actions lead to, this is what you choose to create. And by following your intuition and your guidance and understanding that it is okay to be all of who you are, you will feel so much more free. You will be able to live in harmony and peace and excitement and truly live your mission as you've always intended it to be, loving everyone and all of who they are as well. You will no longer judge the fact that others show darker emotions or even darker actions at times, but it is their choice. One member of your Ascension Council stands in front of you now, asks you to stand, and this one will take you on a small journey into exploring the darkness within you and within humanity, and the light within you and humanity. Whether you see or feel or know this journey, let it unfold for you now. And again, keep handing over any fears, negative thoughts, negative beliefs, worries, resistance. For these are merely old parts of how things used to be for you. Influences from those around you that have raised you, perhaps from religions you are or have been a part of, spiritual beliefs you have been a part of. Understand that you are safe and that you are merely reaching a higher point of truth. You are merely able to look at things from a higher energetic level, from a more place of all-knowingness or more knowingness. It is like growing up spiritually, becoming wiser, just as an adult you can see things different than a child can, simply because you've had more experience and your consciousness and your perspective on things has got a broader view on things, a more of a full spectrum on things. And this is exactly how you can see this as well. Surrender over to this journey and let it take you. Don't try to control the journey through the dark and the light, for it will be perfect for you. You're being brought now to a place out of time, out of space, where you will feel and see and know the true connection to all that is. And all that is means all that is, the dark and the light, the masculine, the feminine, the warm and the cold, the sweet and the sour, the bitter and the salty. Feel how this is moving through you, connecting you to visions and people and thoughts and memories. How different frequencies are moving through you. Some of you will receive gifts in different chakras or different crystals to support you. Others will have implants and programs or even entities removed from your energetic field that have been blocking you from seeing the full spectrum truth. Simply surrender now. There's nothing you need to do. You only need to be and receive now. feel that deep level of peace and grace and all-knowingness in your heart and your soul and your God presence now. And let this knowingness of all that is move through you and be you. And see that you are all that is. And understand that in the white light, all colors of the spectrum are held. You are a full spectrum spiritual being. You are a full spectrum human. Very gently now notice how your guide is taking you back in consciousness to the God Presence Communion Temple. Ground your energies there, breathing up. Put down your pillar. And when you're ready, start connecting to the crystal fire again with all your 12 primary chakras, sending energy out, receiving energy, sending energy out, receiving energy. Your Ascension Council starts sealing up your energies now. And we thank Djwhal Khul for this amazing journey and these amazing insights. He explains it will be up to 48 hours of your earth time of integration. There's nothing you need to do, just simply be mindful and let things settle into a new perspective from your higher self, a higher perspective of all of who you are. As we ask for all this energy work to be sealed and to integrate with grace, ease, love, light, and empowerment, we thank our Ascension Councils, all the support teams. We thank Djwhal Khul, the temples, Mother Gaia, our God presences. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, so be it, so be it is done. Now very gently bring all of your consciousness, all of your awareness back into your here and now, into your physical body. Breathe up and down your pillar 3 times. You may feel slightly disoriented in coming back into this frequency. Take your time. Many, many blessings on this new perspective. You are truly blessed to understand the full spectrum of who you are. Thank you and many, many, many blessings.